the will. It is just his personal desire to not die. Obviously, he has more desires than just that, but that is the one which takes over most of his conscious existence, considering his life is a monotonous battlefield. And this this will, uh, it manifests as a thought texture, because there really aren't individual parts of the will. The will is just the underlying thing which motivates you towards anything. So, whenever a camel is dehydrated, right, and it needs to fill itself up with water, it's not going to have an individual will which wants water. Um, its will is obviously going to motivate it towards water, and that is going to represent itself as a thought texture of misery, um, which can only be quelled by water. So the will, the first dot, is just all of your motivations, the source of all motivations, you at the most fundamental level. Um, you can kind of put that however you want. It's a little confusing, and I really feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like I'm maybe making it too confusing with my explanation right now. Um, it's literally just like anything that comes in your head is going to be a result of your will, right? It's not like a thing. It's not like an individual thing. It's not like a will is this. It's more just like, you kind of know what I mean, man. It's like just anything which you want. That's obviously a product of your underlying desire, your will, the thing which motivates you in individual directions. Like I said, I feel like people can understand that, but I feel like the way I explained it, people are gonna be thinking, "Well, I don't get what he just said," even though it's like it should be relatively intuitive. I think most people have an intuitive understanding of what the thing I was just talking about. Just really your sense of self, but not any individual perception of yourself, not thoughts or words that come from your sense of self, but like the underlying source of self, which all the individual machinations, all of the individual thoughts which call themselves yourself. You know what I mean? All of the labeled language which arises from the self is that will, that just the bare essence of you, the thing which all those thoughts arise from, right? You kind of get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think Carl Jung would just call that the self.
Yeah, the self. I'm sure the superego or some fucking gay Freudian term that I used to know explains it. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's 9 different ways to explain it in psychology, and they all somehow fail to do it as good as the religious definition.
Uh-huh.
But the point is that you've got that will, that thing at the core of your being, and it can obviously distill itself into many different forms. You can have it as so yet again, we'll go with the lizard, right? The lizard, uh, he wouldn't actually um. Don't mistake my initial words for thinking that he has an individual will to survive in the war, because, like I said, the individual desires, the experience of the will, um, they are not the will itself, and the will cannot be separated. The will is the core of your being, right? So the lizard has his will, and one manifestation of this will is to not die in the war, and so that manifestation and all manifestations are going to be thought textures. So, dot one is the self or the will, desire, however you want to put it. Um, and then you have step two, which is thought textures. So, obviously, just think about your daily life. I'm sure everyone has their own representation of this. You desire, or you have an underlying will, right? Yourself, wants, and then that want represents itself as sugar for a lot of people, right? Maybe video games. Sometimes it's not unhealthy. Sometimes your body tells you need water, right? That is another a thought texture that so you're going to have uh the will which motivates everything, the will which is responsible for all of your individual desires, and then you're going to have the actual individual desires themselves, which are going to be experiences. We ready?
Yep.
Middle school?
High school.
Okay. Okay. So the individual. So you're going to have the will, and then you're going to have the. What the fuck is that sound? Weird. So, anyways, you're gonna have the will. So you're gonna have the will, the underlying, the